From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Kent's Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, we are looking at a hot start to your Labor Day weekend. Of course, today some would consider the start to the Labor Day weekend, and that's the case. Then we're looking at temperatures of 100 degrees for many of us in the valley. But Saturday, Sunday, the transition day, and then Monday, temperatures will really start to drop for your Labor Day. So cooler for the second half of your Labor Day weekend. And when we're talking about the coast, we're not talking about a hot Labor Day weekend, are we? But we are talking about the return of more low clouds and some of that fog out there. We're seeing it today in some areas here. We'll see it again here tonight and tomorrow, and most likely even through the weekend. Monday, I think there may be a better chance for some of that clearing before we see even more clearing and warmer temperatures for the coast later next week. I'm also expecting, once the temperatures do drop on Monday across the board, we're going to see another warming trend for next week. And it's going to be another one of those, triple digits for many of us in the valley, and not to mention some of the higher elevations. But for today, 102 for the valley, 100 degrees in Trinity County, mid to upper 90s for places like Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains. But the coast, mid 60s, right? That's the cool spot. And I do expect to see more clouds. Now, there will be some clearing in some areas here, but I think that fog, especially for central, southern Humboldt County, we'll see that fog persist through a good portion of the day, if not all of it. All right, we'll take a look at your forecast winds here. A little breezy this afternoon. You see the areas in green, that's where you're seeing some of the strongest winds, a little over 20 miles per hour in some of those spots here. It may even be a little bit stronger going into your Saturday. Again, some of those greens in there indicating a little over 20 miles per hour there. And then for your Sunday, we do have the winds picking up even more. See, there's this disturbance that's going to be moving through Northern California. That's responsible for the cooler temperatures we're expecting, but it'll also be responsible for, unfortunately, giving us some of these gusty winds at times, especially as we go into Sunday and even into Monday. Well, looking at the humidity here for the rest of the day today, we're still in those single digits with those southerly flow of winds. We take you into your Saturday. So as we go through the weekend, still very dry conditions for your Saturday, even for some of the higher elevations as well. Now, as we go into your Sunday, you'll notice we're seeing a slight uptick in those humidity levels. Again, that's because temperatures are starting to drop, and I expect these humidity levels will be even a little bit higher for your Labor Day. Now, that doesn't mean we can let our guard down and not worry about that fire danger, because it's still going to be gusty winds, and it's still going to be on the warm side and still fairly dry as well. I mean, yes, we're seeing an uptick in those humidity levels, but it's still going to be dry. I mean, 10% is still very dry. 13%, 18%, that is still very dry, but at least it's not 6%, right? So we look at our fire weather risk here for today. Yeah, see the oranges? That's in the high to even very high range here. So that's including Siskiyou County, central Siskiyou County, but even in that moderate range here for some of the eastern mountains. We take you into your Saturday. You see how it's even getting brighter oranges here. That's getting in the very high category here, even for parts of central Siskiyou County. We're also seeing that here in parts of the eastern mountains too. Now going into your Sunday, so again, yes, we're seeing that uptick in the humidity levels, but it's still hot. I mean, it's still mid-90s in the valley, and it's going to be windy too, right? So we can see, of course, the high to even very high category out towards the typical spots that we've been seeing them. Even in the eastern mountains, we're seeing that elevated fire risk as well. So something to kind of pay attention to and think about in the back of your mind as you're going out and enjoying your Labor Day weekend activities here. But we've got this ridge of high pressure that is kind of the broad ridge of high pressure. But if you look closely, you will see a bit of a spin right here, low pressure. That is going to be eventually moving into our region. That is what's going to be responsible for those winds and cooler temperatures. And it's also going to be responsible for this. You're seeing that marine layer developing along the coast here for today at 5 p.m. Even Crescent City may eventually get caught up in some of that. Then we go into your Saturday. And you see how that fog is fairly persistent through the day. I mean, even kind of working its way into some of those inland valleys. So if you are heading out to the fair in Humboldt County, in Ferndale, for example, right, I think we may still see some of that fog kind of persisting through a good portion of the day. But look at this. What's this we see right here? Yeah, we've got some clouds, maybe a chance for a few showers. I don't expect it to be a lot. It'll be few and far between, if we even see anything at all. So if you have outdoor plans in Modoc County on Saturday, just be aware of the fact that as you're out and about, you may run into a stray sprinkle, maybe a light shower, but I don't anticipate any thunderstorms at this point. Now on Sunday, it's really not picking up on any activity, but you can see too close for comfort with those thunderstorms developing just east of Modoc County on Sunday. So I'm still including that slight chance on Sunday as well for Modoc County, but nowhere else. Siskiyou County, Eastern Mountains, still looking pretty good. And of course there again, we're still seeing that fog, and it looks like it's even moving a little bit more inland on Sunday. So we'll probably still be dealing with that fog here for many of you along the coast. Now the long range, as we go into your Monday, look at this. We're seeing some activity being picked up. Now, at this point, I'm not setting this in stone for Siskiyou County, but something to be aware of if you are going to be out and about on Labor Day in Siskiyou County. Maybe a stray shower, also in places like Modoc County as well, but to the south in the eastern mountains, looks like things are clearing fairly clear. And we're still, looks like, seeing a little bit of that fog, but a little bit more clearing out along the coast. Now, once the area of low pressure moves out, the winds start to die down, temperatures increase. We'll probably see less of that fog along the coast and more sunshine and dry conditions. However, you'll notice by the end of next week, we could be looking at maybe a little bit of monsoon moisture kind of creeping in, giving us a chance for some showers and thunderstorms on Friday. Now, temperature-wise, we are seeing kind of an up and down trend here with our temperatures. So, right now, the ridge of high pressure is in place. Off to our west is an area of low pressure, right? That's a cold area of low pressure. This is more of a mild, more warm area of low pressure. So as this low pressure system moves closer to us, what's going to happen? It's going to push that heat to our east. We're going to see our temperatures drop, especially by Sunday into Monday. But also, this is going to be what's going to help to generate those stronger winds I was talking about, and a bit of that south delta breeze as well. And maybe just enough instability for some of those stray showers I was talking about for places, especially in Modoc County, and maybe, just maybe, even into Siskiyou County as well on Labor Day. But you see what happens as we go into next week? That moves out. This heat dives to the south, but we got more heat building again by through the middle of next week into Thursday. But then you see this right here. We've got another little weak trough of low pressure moving on through. That's going to allow our temperatures to drop again. So through next week, they're going up. By the end of the week, into the next weekend, they're going back down again. So again, that roller coaster ride. But bottom line, no major heat waves. Yes, so it's keeping us in that above normal category through majority of the 10-day period. But we are seeing those dips in those temperatures where we will see them drop below normal. All right, so here's what we have for your Friday. A high of 102 degrees for Redding. A bit of that delta breeze to the south, keeping temperatures most likely below 100 degrees. We saw that yesterday. I don't see any reason why we won't see that today. Temperatures in the mountains will be in the 90s, so it's still pretty warm there. And there you can see for the coast in those mid to upper 60s for your daytime highs along the coast. All right, let's take a look at your 7-day outlook. And what we're seeing here, of course, the temperatures staying around 100 degrees through tomorrow. I mean, Redding's still 101. Upper 90s for Red Bluff and Chico. And then looks like in those low to mid 90s on Sunday. And then again, kind of hovering around that 90-degree mark on Monday, maybe even down to the upper 80s of places like Chico. But you see how they're ramping back up Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All right, let's take a look at your coast, inland, Weaverville. Same story here, not as dramatic for the coast, obviously, but it is getting up to around 70 by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But inland, temperatures ramping back up. Weaverville, temperatures ramping back up after Labor Day as well. Siskiyou County, Modoc County, also the Eastern Mountains. Again, I've included the chance here. Don't let that deter any of your outdoor plans, all right? Because most likely, you'll be okay. But I just don't want you to get caught off guard. Because if you're out and about, if you're going on a hike, and a passing shower or sprinkle comes by, don't be surprised. Just know that it won't last for very long and probably won't be very heavy in most cases. But, you know, just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind that, yeah, there's maybe a little bit of instability out there that we'll have to kind of watch for. But after Monday, that low pressure moves out, temperatures increase back at least into the upper 80s to low 90s by next Wednesday and Thursday. That's your afternoon update. I'll be back here in the evening at 6 o'clock.
At Cottonwood Small Animal Clinic and Cottonwood Veterinary Clinic, we're here to provide the best possible care for your patients. We understand that your pet is your family member, and when your family member is sick, they need urgent help.
All our staff is so passionate about the care that goes into all your little creatures. Making relationships with pet parents here in Cottonwood is the greatest feeling in the world. Come find us off the Gas Point exit here in the heart of Cottonwood.